Countries that have made it big economically have done so anchoring on strong export dockets. This is partly because exports give a country an opportunity to tap into resources or income beyond the confines of its borders. Call it income or resources out there. We say country, but it is actually the business community that benefits first and then transfer those benefits to governments. For micro, small and medium enterprise-dominated economies like Uganda, one cannot miss the participation of small operators in all business spheres, including exports. Many players, both small and big, who sit in this space have however been struggling with a host of non-tariff barriers to trade. Working with other government agencies, the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives sought to rewrite this picture for the good of cross-border traders, especially women.
The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, developed and adopted the measures aimed at reducing production and transaction costs, that is, having effective trade facilitation, and mitigating the effects of non-tariff barriers, which currently exist, especially as we are doing business across borders. But also we have to enhance competitiveness of the private sector in the regional markets. We have to enhance the capacity of SMEs because, as you know, our economies are premised on MSMEs and at least 80% of the GDP. So we need to enhance the capacity of the SMEs to benefit from the existing and potential regional markets.
The vehicle chosen to have this picture retouched is the Great Lakes Trade Facilitation Project.
The Great Lakes Trade Facilitation Project is a project implemented by 3 countries, Rwanda, DRC, and Uganda. The 3 intervention areas we have. The first one is looking at the border, what happens at the border. And inside that we have the construction of one-stop border posts. So we are now coming up with border post infrastructure at Mpondwe. We are upgrading the border post infrastructure for Nagana, and we are making designs for Gori. On the market side, we are building a border market, again at Mpondwe. And as a concept, we have since actually changed the name. The name is Border Export Zone because it has a bigger scope. Inside it, we have a nucleus market. For example, there is already a border market at Mpondwe. So we're going to expand that. But over and above the actual market, we then have there value addition facilities. We have warehousing facilities. We have service facilities like banks. Finally, in the context of the third component, which is about now building the capacity of the border officials and building the capacity of the traders themselves, what we do in there, we train them on product development, enterprise development as a whole. We are also now working towards improving the way our border agencies are providing services to the traders, the small-scale cross-border traders.
The same has been extended to law enforcement officers who were deemed key in the timely resolution of cross-border conflicts.
Trade is being used as a tool to address civil strife, to address the wars that we have within the region. Now, what we want is to see peace so that the cross-border trade can flourish at each of those borders.
Considering the dynamic nature of cross-border businesses and together with the unique challenges that small traders contend with on a daily basis, the project now has a dedicated officer at the border to deal with arising issues.
I'm a trade information desk officer in Nagana border, and I work mostly as a trade facilitation officer because of most work we do here is to facilitate cross-border traders through their movement, through the challenge they go through because it is us to report to, and Also to connect them to our border officials, our fellow border agents officers. Every month, the ministry has got something to sensitize about cross-border traders. Every month. They have to come to Kisoro, they sensitize, they have to ask us in our report, is there anything that we need to inform to sensitize traders? Is there any area where traders don't know and we need to work on that? Surely they always try and sensitize them.
I'm called Kavanyo Rebecca, the commercial officer from Bondolvera Town Council. Traders have been having a lot of challenges when they're crossing. So for us, we appreciate that this project has come around to actually reduce on the costs of our small traders. Of course, we know when this project is completed, our traders are going to be reduced on some challenges, like crossing from Uganda to Congo. So many of our women have always been harassed. Most of our traders have not been knowing the legal procedures, and we know most of our traders have had a lot of trainings pertaining this project, so I think most of them are going to be helped.
The project, in its objective of promoting performance-based management in cross-border administration, it has fortified collaboration among government agencies at the border for export trade promotion. Special attention has been paid to those with merchandise of about roughly 7 million shillings and below.
Of course, the spirit of the initiative is that small-scale traders should be facilitated to be able to grow into big traders that also us as tax collectors or as revenue authority we would love to see. And one of the strategies is that some taxes should be relaxed to be able to allow these small scale traders enjoy and be able to grow.
Since cross-border trade involves movement of people, making that process easy is critical for any export growth effort. It is for this reason that immigration was enlisted.
When we are talking of small traders, we are talking of people who have relatives across and relatives here, live here and live there. And the international travel standards require that they have recognized travel documents. And this becomes a big challenge. Now, how this project is going to help is to give us access in sensitizing these people involved in this kind of trade.
Aware of the fact that local leadership has a strong bearing on the day-to-day realities of businesses, the project also reached out to the local leadership in the targeted communities.
Together with the project that the government is facilitating in the Eastern Urban Council, we have registered our traders, and these traders have attended trainings. With what they have learned, the cross-border trade is being improved because some of the taxes that were imposed on the commodities have been reduced. More so, we engage with the other leaders across. The mayor of Lubiriha, which is in DRC, and the security personnel, we always have meetings solving issues concerning the traders here, and this enables them or gives them an environment of trade when they are very free.
The project has greatly improved trade activities across the border of Uganda and Congo because the petty traders have come together and joined the efforts to promote trade in the commodities that are affordable by the group. So far, the traders have formed the association to promote the interests of all traders.
So far, some good ground has been covered, and one of the areas touched is creating awareness among border traders about export procedures.
We are sensitized about the formal trade processes, especially on STR, where this is a simplified trade regime that came in purposely to make trade more easier to the small trader, where we are sensitized or we are told that a trader whose threshold is below $2,000, equivalent to something like 7-point-something M, Ugandan currency, should pass freely crossing the border to our neighboring Congo And this was an agreement between the two countries where they signed an agreement on the product that is in STR in the document of simplified trade regime. And they agreed that the products that can cross freely are only those ones that are made from Uganda. And now it has helped us as a business people, because unlike before where we could meet barriers of very many, there is a bureaucracy of taxes, especially in Congo, but now it is minimized.
With all these coordinated efforts, the traders, the main beneficiaries of the project, have today started witnessing dividends coming their way.
Of course, before we had the trainings, we could pass in Panya ways because we could fear the border agencies like the revenue. We could pass in those Panya ways because of fearing the taxes. But after being sensitized these days, we pass through the border, we pay what we are supposed to pay, and we do our businesses very well.
We appreciate the initiative of the World Bank, because I hear it is facilitated by the World Bank and the government at large. We as citizens here, we are welcoming the idea, because we think it is going to help most of our traders, because we had challenges of storage. Now people didn't have good stores where they keep their goods, especially perishable goods like the beans I told you that I exported to Congo. So we expect that once the market is built, they will bring such facilities closer to the people and then improve their standards of products.
Several studies have pointed at the fact that a critical hindrance to cross-border trade is the cost. The cost is always fueled by non-tariff barriers, and these thrive on the ignorance of traders who end up being exploited by several parties. The approach of the project is a 360-degree one that brings everyone on board to push in the same direction for the export trade promotion cause.